The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Hosted by three BFFs, DaddyDWALLY, Chipotle Bear, and Bubble Boy and Seven.
And new intern, X Bacon Gamin'.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Oh, hello. DaddyDWALLY here, and welcome to The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Joining me, as always, is the standard tripod official co-host, Chipotle Bear. Chipotle Bear, how are you?
I'm doing okay, man. It has been a little bit of whirlwind. I'm sure we'll talk about, a literal whirlwind with some of the weather. We'll talk about that. But I also want to just say, we didn't say this last episode, happy late Father's Day to all the fathers out there, right? Especially my daughters, I can see on the screen here, got me this wonderful Father's Day gift, homemade little heroes with Take Fives in them, because I love Reese's Take Fives and things they love about me. And I just want to point out number 5 here. Playing video games with us because you are great at video games. While my gamer score may not agree with that,
Debatable.
I'll take it. So I'm doing great, man.
Yeah. Shout out to all the dads out there. Greyson and the girls got me a Spider-Man shirt.
Yep.
It says amazing dad that I am not wearing right now, but I promise I'll wear it next time, guys. Joining us as always, is the assistant to the co-host. He was just recently struck by some serious weather out here. Remember last time I had all that lightning? Hopefully we don't have it again because we're supposed to, but
yeah, I see some serious shit.
Serious shit. Eggs, bacon, gaming. Talk to us about your day.
Well, it was a pretty uneventful day in training a new driver today until my wife calls me in a panic telling me there was a tornado that went directly over our house. And so I did come home early and verify that a tornado did, in fact, go directly over my house. We got pretty damn lucky, but other people didn't. It's just really weird to get a tornado at almost 6,000 feet this close to the mountains. I'm just
in the mountains, but
I am absolutely baffled how we got a tornado.
He's not in the mountains, so let's be real.
The foothills are right there. You shouldn't get one either, Dan, being that close to the.
I didn't, thankfully.
I know. We did. It's like wild to me, but everybody's safe. Everyone's healthy, minimal damage, some insurance claims. So let's talk video games.
Yeah. So wait, really quickly about that storm. Yes. So Bacon got hit by a literal tornado. Last night we got hit by a crazy hailstorm. I sent videos. I tweeted it out. I was live tweeting it and said this was the end time screaming out there. It was crazy. Our roof has been destroyed. Probably had worse damage than Bacon's house. I don't know about your roof, but our roof is destroyed. All the trees around us just in shambles. But thankfully, of course, I don't have any trees in our backyard, but I have a bunch of leaves from everybody else's trees. And then my car today, I was in Littleton when Bacon was by Tornado Alley, apparently got hail damage. So it has been crazy out here, you guys. First day of summer. It's been miserable. I'll be honest. Can't wait to go to
at all.
Pennsylvania. Speaking of, I will be in Pennsylvania the next 2 shows, boys, but I should be able to record out there. I've got that backup mic, but just a warning to you that I probably won't be here for that. I'll be on MT Kennedy's time zone though. Maybe I'll be able to game with him.
You can sail the seas with him.
And shout out to Matt. We miss you, buddy. Hopefully we'll have Matt coming back as a recurring guest. Tried to get him back on tonight, but he is busy. Shout out to Deja Vu in the chat. He said Fox News was literally on my street looking at the damages. Apparently Deja Vu was struck by the tornado as well. And
he got hit before me.
A wild day, boys.
Man.
So let's jump into some positive TNC shout outs, Jose. Guys, immediately I need to give a huge shout out to my son's new toy. He wanted me to show these on the stream. He specifically said, Dad, are you recording tonight? I need you to show these on stream. So Jose, while I'm grabbing these toys, will you tell about our new sub count and some of our new subs while I grab these really quickly?
Absolutely. So definitely want to give a huge shout out to a sub on YouTube, Heather Draco. Thank you for joining our sub count. We appreciate all these new fans. Feel free to write in, share your thoughts, even if they're criticisms. We're always happy to hear about that. Also want to people that are friending us on YouTube, or I'm sorry, YouTube, on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. We appreciate it, man. It's just nice to have that compassion amongst the community. And I'll tell you, man, like, I know there's a lot of negativity on Twitter. I know we joke about it all the time, the Twitter streets, but there is honestly also a really awesome, very supportive gaming community on Twitter if you know where to look. Shout out to obviously from people from like Seasoned Gaming and obviously the Trophy Room with our boys over there.
Cog, Iron Lords.
Yes. Iron Lords, Luke Lore
Red
with
Bunny.
XCP. Like, there's awesome community out there, man.
Stand Media. Guys, so here's the first toy. Grayson said I had to show this, especially Bacon will appreciate. This is the aircraft carrier that we got him for his birthday, I believe, last year. And as you can see, it is pretty dang sweet. We've got Mavericks F-18 over there. We also have the F-14 Tomcat as well.
That's dope.
This is very cool. It converts into a little carrier. This closes. Pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. If I was a kid, I would have died to have something like this when I was.
That's the first one.
That's just the first one. So this is the one he really wanted to show because recently I took the girls the other day. I picked him up early from school. Grayson's been sick. And he wanted to go, or I took the girls to get their birthday presents because we didn't really get him anything. We said, you can go pick out whatever you want. So of course I'm like, well, I have to get Grayson something too. Otherwise he's going to be sad. And I said, this is your graduation present from preschool. Guys, this is a $10 battleship from Walmart with little army men. And so here it is, you guys. This is Grayson. Here you go, buddy. Here it's got a helicopter. It shoots missiles in the front. You see the army men in there.
All right.
Also,
ooh,
makes some cool sounds. Got a little sonar. Oh, the sonar. Rest in peace. That little sub could have used that sonar, the Titanic sub. But anyway, so there you go, Grayson. There's the toys that he wanted me to shout out. Jose, you did shout out the new subs. What's the sub count actually?
Oh, we're officially 154, which is great. We literally over halfway towards getting our partnership affiliation with YouTube, which would be great, man. We appreciate it. We have lots of watch hours, which is awesome. It's just we need the subscribers now. So if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, sharing it with your friends, we appreciate it, guys.
We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much out there. This week though, I'm a little sad. Big Box. We didn't get anything from Big Box, you guys. I'm a little sad. I love his inquiries. So Big Box, please write in, brother. We miss you. Jose, let's jump into some Xbox/gaming news for the week.
News team, assemble!
Was that loud for you, Bacon?
A little loud.
Okay, a little hot. Coming in hot.
A little warm.
News story number one, and going along with the title of tonight's episode, changes are coming to Xbox. This is coming, of course, from all the FTC leaks and all this stuff going on in the trial, or I don't even know, preliminary trial. I just don't even know. Or care
It's
anymore.
a trial.
Whatever. From Tom Warren, he breaks down the game price increases. It is increasing everywhere. Game Pass price is increasing. Console price is increasing. So in the United States, Game Pass Ultimate is going from $15 a month to $17 a month. And for normal Game Pass for console, it is going from $10 a month to $11 a month. So it looks like $1 and $2 changes and for each like country's equivalent. So like in the UK, it goes from $11 for Game Pass Ultimate to 13, and then for Game Pass, it's £8 to £9. And what's going on with the consoles, Bacon? Is it matching PlayStation 5 basically everywhere else?
Yes, except for the USA for some weird reason, the number one territory where we sold.
Well, that's why you gotta. Okay, so the Series S will not be adjusted in any of the markets, so that's good to see. And so that means the Series S will stay at $299. The Series S with the 1 terabyte will be $350. It's basically moving up to $550. It looks like, so it's going to be matching PS5 around the globe. So. Jose, we'll start with you, the econ man. Is this surprising to you, or does this make sense? Is this a bad move in your eyes? I mean, To be honest, when PlayStation did it, we gave him crap. I feel like we gotta be the same way towards Xbox. So talk to me. What are your thoughts, Jose?
I mean, to be fair, well, quickly, I want to quick shout out Ender Buckley, new chat member in the chat, talking about
shout out to Andrew Buckley or Ender Buckley.
That this was announced. The price hike was announced the same week that I guess there's been a spreading issue with issues with downloading or installing things. I had not heard that, but I mean, certainly.
Have your guys' game bar been working? Like seeing your friends? I haven't seen anybody in.
Oh, you're right. No, that I did have that issue.
Yep.
So yeah, so the other night I was playing Diablo with Alan real late. So that must have been Tuesday or Monday night. And then I noticed the next day I tried to get into PUBG with Pony, and it was the same friends list as the night before. And Matthew was on, my brother was on, and other people on, but I couldn't see him. It was very bizarre.
Yeah,
yes, something was going on.
I just checked, and mine's finally working.
Yeah, mine was working today as well. But you're right. Shout out Ender. Yeah, there was definitely something going on with Xbox Live the other night, specifically my friends list. I did have that issue. So sorry, go ahead, Jose, on the price increases.
No, I mean, so here's what I would say. I as much as I would love for prices to stay the same, right? We certainly can criticize that, right? It's nice that it was a cheap entry point. Like I would love to not pay more.
That's
money.
still there. The cheap entry point is still.
But I'm saying that this was always coming. This was coming from the first day that we all bought Game Pass. That's why we stacked it for so many years, was because we were like, we know at some point they're going to turn it up there. And really, the question was just when. And honestly, like, from an economic standpoint, this is the perfect time to do it because they just had such a banger of a showcase.
Yeah,
right.
Starfield
for them to be like, oh, it's only going up $2, whatever. We got Starfield coming, we got Forza coming, we got all these
potentially Activision games,
potentially Activision Blizzard. Like it is the perfect time in that sense, right? Of like, if you're gonna do it, you want to do it when everyone's on a high because the high is probably going to carry you through that race.
You don't want to do it last year when 2022.
You want to do it right when Redfall hit. Okay, put it that way. So no, overall, it was definitely, I think, a good choice the way that they did it there. In that sense, again, people are going to be mad. Again, for me personally, it's just one of those things where, like, I know this was going to happen at some point, and realistically, Bubble Boy said
it's still a great value.
Dude, if they raised it to $20 for Ultimate, they probably still would be like, yep, worth it.
And we still don't know about the family plan yet. They still haven't officially not announced that stuff. So that could potentially save people money. But you're right, on Game Pass, I think it's absolutely fair, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. And if you still can, guys out there, go buy those normal priced memberships and stack them. And I was going to do that, and I feel bad that I didn't, but I'm going to head to Costco. And I was there earlier today. I should have grabbed some and stack it up because I think mine's only good through August of 2024. Jose, but give me your thoughts on the console price increase.
I mean, again,
Series X.
Here's the truth.
Specifically.
Realistically, they have probably either been just barely breaking even or even losing money on consoles since the inception of this generation. Because again, they lost last generation, right, with the Xbox One era. They were trying to make up ground, even though I know in more recent stuff they're saying we didn't really care about consoles. We care about I know that's become the party line, but they still spent a lot of money and a lot of R&D making this new system. So they have to recoup that. So it also makes sense in this time where, like, the PS5 has gone up, they're raising Game Pass. Like, it makes sense that if they're going to do this, they absolutely should do this now. Now, granted, it's going to piss people off, right? Like it makes, if I didn't have a Series X and I was just going to buy one because Starfield was super exciting, right? We talked about all those people in like France, it was like up 1,000% there. If you were anticipating spending $500 or $550 and now all of a sudden now it's like 600, that stings, man, right? That doesn't feel good, 50. Like to those new people that are entering your market. But again, I don't know a better time to necessarily do that.
Before I throw it over to Bacon, Ender wrote again, yeah, it's a mess. Can find people pissed in replies to any Xbox support posts. But yeah, Game Pass going up has probably been expected for sure. Probably since they rolled EA. Yeah, we're forgetting that we have access to EA, which is crazy in itself. Point. So I forget about those games. Like realistically, I had more time, I'd be playing Madden, I'd be playing some of those sports games, and it's such a great value. I'm okay with it. I'm going to continue to be a Game Pass subscriber, and I'm mostly it for just the day and date Xbox first party releases and some of those other, like, guys, I've played so much on Game Pass. It's incredible. And the money I've saved, I've already a broken record on this. I got Gotham Knights. I got Jedi Survivor, which I still haven't played yet. I'm going to buy probably early access to Starfield. But anyway, Bacon, do you have anything to say on these price increases before we move on?
Well, what timeline are we living in where at the midpoint of a generation, instead of getting price decreases, we're getting price increases? Now, it was a little hypocritical for Xbox and everyone to say we're not raising our prices when Sony did it, and then we turn around and do it. It is not a good look. And then all the outrage coming out because PC Game Pass did not go up at all.
But
because
why
we're still
is
trying
that?
to get growth.
And that's been the most growth they've said. That's
Right.
where they're seeing it. So like, yeah, we want to keep encouraging it.
Right.
So,
and then with everybody
console
always
stagnant.
Everyone freaking out that console players are second-class citizens because they have to play for Xbox Live, or us PC guys don't. I mean, I pay for it with Ultimate, so it doesn't really matter. But it's a little bit of a shock to a system to put a price increase right after a flop like Redfall. That was the first $70 game ever on this platform, and that game is not doing great.
To be fair, Bacon, let me ask you this: do you think it can turn around though?
I don't think so.
Whoa, Jose, what's going on?
That was a hot.
I don't know. Remember, Sea of Thieves wasn't exactly the best at its launch. Halo is really good. If they stay, I'm not saying Redfall is going to be a gem, but could it get back up to like a 7?
Well, when you think about those other two games you mentioned, both being live services, games as a service, you can change Halo, add more multiplayer maps, and do stuff. And you can do the same thing in Sea of Thieves. And you basically create your own fun in Sea of Thieves, where Redfall is a single player canned experience. Now, can they upgrade? Can they upgrade the UI? But maybe is there? I don't think Xbox wants to save that game. To be honest, I think they want to just put it out.
You'll get 60 FPS eventually. I guarantee you.
No, they have to. Yeah. They have
to. But again, I don't think the 60 FPS patch changes much with that game. It's unfortunate. Just the overall design of the other two games you mentioned, they are, they're designed to do that, and you can change a Halo on the fly. So, I mean, I think it's just better we forget about Redfall and move on down the road and get ready for Starfield.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad I have my console and I'm glad I have my PC, so I don't have to deal with price increases. When you think about $2 in the grand scheme of things, it's not even a can of chew. It's like half a can of chew.
Bacon throwing a can of chew analogy. Thanks, Bacon, for all the kids out there. Don't chew. I do want to say about. Oh man, you just totally threw off my train of thought. Dang it, I forgot what I was.
I have that effect.
Oh, Game Pass, the price increase. To be fair, I always thought I was underpaying. In all honesty, like I feel like I'm underpaying at $15 a month, and I don't think I've paid $15 a month since I've gotten Game Pass, because I always stacked crazy deals. Like I did the one where I stacked as many years of Xbox Live and then converted it for like $1 to Game Pass. So I have yet to pay full price for it. So I feel like I'm stealing from Microsoft. So I, in the grand scheme of things, feel like it's such a phenomenal deal. I feel like 20 is probably got to be the max though, right? If you're going to doing a single membership, Jose, do you think they can't go over that per month? Like, I feel like you're pushing it.
Here's what I would say. The people that are doing that, like that are recommending this change, that are approving this change, they have done a lot of research. Like, this is not a willy-nilly, like, hey, we're making money, we should raise it $2. Like, they have probably put lots and lots of effort into this. I would be shocked if we saw another price hike in the next like 3 to 4 years, because again, they were doing this for long term, right? And if it continues to do well, and it should, right, especially with everything coming with Starfield, they may do it more. And is there an upper threshold? Yeah, there is at some point, right? But I don't know what that is. I mean, I would certainly love it to never give above 20, but like, I don't know if we could ever promise that with Ultimate. And here's why I say that: because of things like this guy right here on behind me, the ROG. That changed things in the terms of the equation a little bit, in the sense that like when you get Ultimate, you also have PC Game Pass and all that kind of stuff happening as well there. So I think it's going to be a little interesting there. But again, after this recent price hike, I can't imagine we're going to see another one anytime soon.
Let's move on to news story number 2. And for our listeners and watchers, I'm warning you now, we have to talk about this FTC, Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard King stuff. I don't want to talk about it more than you. I just wish this was over. It's going to be over, right? It should have been over today.
I just want to hear from what Bacon has to say, because he was listening to all kinds of stuff.
Today's the first day of the trial. Well, actually, yesterday was the preliminary.
When will this be over?
There's
when will
there's a
days
5
from today?
days,
business days.
There's a 5-day trial. They said they might not need it all, and then they will rule
on whether or not there's an injunction. If they give them an injunction, deal's dead. Correct?
Well,
probably.
Okay.
Most likely.
So news story number 2, the positive question mark news from some of the stuff today, but I guess it is it? Okay. This is what I want to ask you guys. Bethesda's Indiana Jones game is exclusive to Xbox and PC. And this is coming from the FTC versus Microsoft case today. This news, I believe, was leaked. So the game was originally announced in 2021, just months before Microsoft finalized its $7.5 billion deal to acquire ZeniMax Media. By the way, this is coming from The Verge and Tom Warren. Of course, that Tom Warren. All we've seen so far is a teaser video and no details on when Indiana Jones will ship, nor what platforms until today. Pete Hines was questioned as part of a witness testimony in the FTC versus Microsoft hearing, with the FTC's counsel revealing that Disney had a contract for multiple consoles and that the deal was amended after Microsoft the Microsoft Bethesda acquisition, and now it is just going to be on Xbox consoles. Hines explained the Bethesda liked the idea of removing the risk of a game developer and bringing it to Xbox Game Pass. The primary one, in my view, is what I said about reducing risk and trying to get a degree of certainty, Hines said. You're dealing with a licensor who's going to have a ton of feedback on what you're making and a lot of time and add a lot of time to your schedule. So they're arguing that it's safer to only develop for one platform or one console and PC, and then they'll get to reach way more people through Game Pass. Bacon, you put this in here right before I was actually going to put it in here. Before I throw it to you, I want to ask this to you and Jose. Is it really that big deal that Indiana Jones is going to be exclusive? Does Indiana Jones as an IP really sway gamers over to the Xbox platform? Does it have any power, or is this an old boomer game just for us? Because I'm excited for Indiana Jones and I love Indiana Jones, but is your average, 12, 13, 14 young gamer really care about this franchise? So Bacon, take it away.
Well, we got to think about who the studio is that's making this game, and Machine Games.
Wolfenstein Machine Games does not miss, you guys. Good point, Bacon.
Right. So is this going to be an exclusive take on Tomb Raider, or an exclusive take on, what's that Sony one?
Uncharted.
It lends itself,
my favorite,
it lends itself perfectly to that. It is Treasure Quest.
Dude, you're right. I forget Machine Games, man.
Right. They could, if that studio can take something like Wolfenstein and turn it into an appealing story. Wolfenstein would have been fine as just a shooter, dude bro shooter, blow up everything, blood and guts everywhere, with like the weakest story ever. But they actually were able to make a compelling story out of that. So my level of expectation with anything Machine Games touches is usually through the roof. And I kind of think it might be my favorite part of this acquisition is Machine Games.
That's big. But Bacon, let me throw a curveball at you.
Okay.
Prey, Dishonored, fantastic games. Right. And then the same studio, what did they produce?
Is that the same team that did Redfall?
A lot of them left, but yes, that is the same team.
Was that Leon or was that
Redfall.
Austin?
This was Austin, I believe.
It was Austin.
The same one.
Okay, Austin.
That did.
Well, I personally didn't like Prey, so. So
I'm not really 17 game of the year.
I'm not an Arcane guy myself, because I mean I've tried Dishonored 2 and I thought the premise was cool and I just kind of lost interest. But I've never lost interest in any Wolfenstein, and they are just downright incredible. So. Is it going to sell consoles? Probably not. But is it going to be a feather we can stick in our caps in the console wars and say, look what we got? Yeah. I just think it's kind of funny.
It is. I think it could be potentially a big deal. You're right. Not necessarily because it's Indiana Jones, but really because it's a Machine Game for exclusive. Jose, what do you think? Is Indiana Jones a big deal anymore, or is this going to flop
100%.
like it's going to flop at the theaters?
Even if this new movie flops, right? It still sells tickets, man. They still make lots and lots of money on those movies. And here's the way I would phrase it. It's a simple answer. What if this was flipped? What if Sony had secured this as a thing? You would be mad, right? We would be mad, and not mad that we would leave our Xbox and go buy a PlayStation just for that game, right? Just like you guys just said. But realistically, it's more of it is a feather in our cap, and it is something that is desired. And I agree with Bacon that Machine Games does do well. And the big difference here is that they one of the things that Pete Hines said in the like interview himself was something along the lines of like, look, this is a very well-known IP that people love. Like the owners of it are gonna make sure that you do it right. So you have to add a lot of time to your schedule. That's why we, other than that early release CGI trailer that we saw like early last year, we haven't seen anything for. That's a big reason why. So I think it's a big deal. Again, is it going to make or break consoles? No, not even close. But it is going to be important for us in the long run. And again, better to have in our thing.
Sorry, boys. Greyson just had to make sure I showed the stuff on video, so I did tell him that we showed it. So
He should be watching live, but he's
and
not.
you know what's a great idea? Speaking of Greyson and Indiana Jones, is it safe to show him, Jose, or is that a little too?
We just remember I bet this last time we just showed them Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, you did tell me. No, that's
I was like, I wanted to move right on to Temple of Doom. My wife was like,
no, dude, that part with the heart, pulling the heart. Oh my gosh, it still scarred me.
We got to wait a little bit on that.
I'm excited for Indiana Jones. It is very cool, and the more I think about just Machine Games making this, gosh, I really hope this game hits, because if it does, that would be huge for. It's huge for Xbox potentially having a Disney IP exclusive like Spider-Man, is the Marvel, and I can't believe they gave Wolverine to Sony. Like, I guess it makes sense because of the success they had with Spider-Man, but come on, like that should be multi-platform, both of those games. But anyway, let's move on. Bacon, why don't you take it away for news story number 3? Here's what he wrote in the notes, you guys. It just says Lion Jim Ryan. That's all he wrote. So news story number 3 is also coming. That's good one, Bacon. Is also coming from Tom Warren at The Verge. Sony's PlayStation chief privately said Microsoft's Activision deal wasn't about Xbox exclusives. A bombshell email in the FTC versus Microsoft case. Dude, Bacon, take it away.
All right, folks. If you're not on the Twitter streets, you weren't aware that another email surfaced from Matt Booty from Xbox saying the ultimate goal is to put PlayStation out of business.
Which is the goal of any business, is to, compete and force somebody else out of business.
In a market and a competition, your goal is to put your rival out of business. Sony's been doing that for 20 plus years.
Pretty successfully to Xbox.
Yeah, they put Sega out of business. They tried to put Nintendo out of business, and they're trying really hard to put Xbox out of business. So all the outrage on Twitter came out that's Microsoft's ultimate goal is to stomp out, to choke out Sony. And then come to find out today that Jim Ryan internally said at the beginning of this year that they weren't ever concerned about Xbox exclusivity for Activision games. And then he flew around the country crying to every single regulator, even though he never had a fear. And we're currently fighting it right now in court. So I just find it awfully hypocritical of Mr. Lion Dance Move flying Jim Ryan to do that. And internally he
may be hypocritical, but what he's supposed to do,
right,
as the leader of
PlayStation. The exact words, and I quote, and I'll read this: "It's not about an exclusivity play at all," said Ryan. "They are thinking bigger than that, and they have they have the cash to make moves like this. I've spent a fair amount of time with Phil Spencer and Bobby Kotick, and I'm pretty sure we will continue to see Call of Duty on PlayStation for years to come." An internal email.
That doesn't look good. You're right, for all their whining. You're absolutely right. But
then he says we got big stuff cooking on our own side.
But we can't give PS6 details to Activision if this deal goes through.
Microsoft will then,
Microsoft would even care at that point, because they're going to make you making so much money on Activision games over there anyway. So Jose, what do you think about this statement? Do you have any thoughts in general? Have you been following some of this stuff?
I mean, my thoughts haven't changed. That I do want to see this culminate, right? I want to hear what Bacon about my girl Sarah Bond out there today. I didn't get to listen. I know he was listening and saying she was just killing it in the courtroom. I mean, it's time, right? As much as I do actually enjoy some of what's going on in the history, the economics of this, like I do, but it's like it's just dragging now. And like where they keep threatening, like it's going to go to trial again in August. And that's really just the first trial of 17 trials, right? Like that's where I'm like, this sucks, man. I don't want this. So I'd love to hear from Bacon a little bit more about what the trial has been like, because I haven't seen anything, dude. It's just been it's crazy. For as much as it's summer, I do not have time to like listen to like the news and stuff.
So me being the noob I kept trying to get in the Zoom call because there was 1,000-person limit in the Zoom call for the broadcast of this thing, and I kept trying all day. I'm like, let me in.
You know, he should have been following was that Derek Strickland. He was like live tweeting it out as it was happening.
Well, come to find out, that link I sent you, someone's just streaming the audio, which is allowed on YouTube. And so right when Sarah Bond got on the stand, I was like, listen, and it was there and it was clear. Nice. No video, of course, but it's it almost seemed like the FTC lawyer is just a little bit scatterbrained and can't really focus on one thing. She'd ask one question and have her go to a paragraph and a random number, and then there's a random question, and Sarah Bond would just shoot it down, and she'd be like, oh, and then go to another paragraph and another exhibit. And it almost seemed like at one point you heard the judge say, you can get all these games for this monthly price. Like Sarah Bond had literally sold Judge Corley on freaking a Game Pass subscription. She's like, yeah. And it almost just seemed like the FTC lawyer was just going for gotcha moments to catch them in a lie. And they're like, and they, at one point, my heart did skip a beat when they referenced something, a deposition from earlier in 2021, I believe it was, or late 2022, that they said that they were trying to make a standalone SKU for Game Pass, our xCloud. And they referred to it as xCloud the whole time in this. And Sarah Bond said,
I gotta say, that's really weird because I remember them specifically saying they're not going with xCloud. It's like Xbox Cloud Gaming, but everyone still says xCloud, and they should have just stuck with that anyway. Sorry,
and when they brought that up, and Sarah Bond was like, yeah, no, we did say that. And my heart skipped a beat. I'm like, oh, here we go. And then she's like, that was our stance back then. We have since reevaluated the cost and the usage rate of xCloud, and it is not what we believed it would be. It is not as popular as we believed it would be. Most people use it to either test drive a game, to either download it, or they use it to play the game while they are downloading the game, and then they go to native hardware. And so she basically just stood up and said, yeah, no, I said that in the deposition, and that was a year ago, and we have since completely changed our stance on it. Guys, this trial is so freaking awesome right now. I can't even tell you. Come to find out that Activision is also forcing them to take different cuts, that instead of the standard 70-30 split, the Activision required an 80-20 split to put the game on Xbox. Bobby Kotick, the worst human being on this planet, has got to go. He basically is making Microsoft give Activision more money to have that game on their platform and to develop it for the Series X. It is absolutely wild. And if you're not busy tomorrow, Phil Spencer will be on the stand tomorrow. That's going to be saucy.
I'll leave that to you, Bacon. Is there any closing thoughts on this whole thing?
So just the last thing for Bacon to clarify for me, and I think we were talking about it as we opened the show tonight. So what is our timeline here at this point about like what we're going to know and when we're going to know for the fans out there to give us a 30-second rundown just so we have some finality to this?
Well, the original restraining order or the attempt to get the preliminary injunction expires in 2 weeks. The restraining order expires because the restraining order is in place. They cannot close the deal. They cannot close the deal over the FTC. They cannot close it over the CMA. So I think they're in court through Wednesday on this trial, if needed, of course. I don't think it'll go that far, but who knows? Then it's in the judge's court of when she wants to make the ruling on the preliminary injunction. Preliminary injunction doesn't exactly kill the deal physically. The preliminary injunction just says no, can't do anything until the FTC trial. But if she shoots down the preliminary injunction at some time, either next week or the week after, they're free to close it and then just fight the CMA in the CAT tribunal and whatever penalties come from closing over the CMA. I'm pretty sure they will because they do know that $3 billion penalty. And does Activision just walk with the $3 billion after July 18th? Knowing Bobby Kotick at this point, he probably will just walk with the $3 billion, wash his hands, and make the 17th Diablo. So it's behooves us, but he's going to be on the stand too during all this. So this FTC trial is freaking gold, gentlemen. It gets you behind the curtain. You'll see the man behind the great and powerful Oz if you listen to this thing. It's so
and
good.
it's Bobby Kotick. Who
Oh, another Wizard of Oz boomer.
Who doesn't bring up Wizard
analogy
of Oz
from
references?
X Bacon. Let's move on. If you guys want all the updates, make sure to follow X Bacon Gaming on Twitter. He's going to be live tweeting the live tweets from the trial these tomorrow and Monday and Tuesday. Hopefully it'll be done and we won't ever, we're going to know soon, right, boys? I hope, because let's say it doesn't happen right, Bacon, then they can just close the deal, right? If they don't get this, they can close the deal without FTC and CMA's approval.
Right. And then the FTC can still continue their pursuit of this post-closure. They can try to force Microsoft to divest or do whatever they want. They can continue to go up against this brick wall if they want. The precedent is the FTC has never pressed anything after the preliminary injunction gets shot down. So let's hope. The Judge Corley is the one who shot down the Sony gamers lawsuit twice already, and then she's getting heat because her son works for Microsoft. I'm not sure if it's in retail or whatever it is, but apparently everybody
works at one of the last remaining Microsoft stores.
Right.
Hey,
that's apparently what they're going after.
Dude, I love the Microsoft.
I know
they were giving me so much stuff. Like, oh my gosh, I got so much free stuff from them. Anyways, guys, let's move on to some quick / fun stories. But before we do, shout out again to Ender. Ender says, people didn't go crazy for the last Wolfenstein one with the daughters. But they did good on all the others. And I agree. I haven't played the second one, Ender, but you know what? All this Wolfenstein talk makes me want to play the one with the twins. And I hear it's bad too. And I do remember
that's Youngblood,
probably
right?
not. Yeah, Youngblood, but I kind of need some Wolfenstein. I might do it. I don't know. It might be getting crazy here. That's the only one I haven't played. And then he said, and Bobby has been trying to spend the past few years like they never have. Yeah. And you know what? A lot of people have been quick to forget. Like, let's be real, all the stuff with Activision, especially with the success of Diablo 4. So, by the way, Bobby totally got me with that $100 version of Diablo. I should have waited. I don't know why I got that. I'm not.
No, you're right, because the pre-order stuff was not.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to do it.
And if you don't play the battle pass, if you don't plan on doing the end game with the battle pass, then yeah, they got you.
He's son of an Activision. Anyway, fun news story. We're what is this? We're number 4. I just wanted to say everything that's included in the MGS1, the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. You know I'm getting this day one because I've been waiting to replay Metal Gear Solid and get some Achievos on my Xbox. So just so everyone knows, you can get Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. You can buy those separately if you, for some reason, don't want to get the collection. But if you do get the collection, here's what's included. You get Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake. So those are the NES games. Metal Gear Solid, including the VR missions, is the PS1 original launch. Then Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. This is the HD collection version. So I already own that on. Maybe I won't get those. And then Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater HD collection version. I also already own that on Xbox. And then Metal Gear, the NES version, and Snake's Revenge. I don't think we need to talk too much about this. I'm super pumped to play Metal Gear Solid 1 over. Does anyone want to talk about this? Jose, will you
have a Switch stand?
I do. I mean, on Xbox.
Oh, I thought it was only on Switch. I'm sorry.
He's got a Logitech G Cloud.
No, I sent that back. Cloud gaming is not there. I tried it. By the way, Bacon, I forgot to say I did update it. The cloud gaming did run way better actually once I updated the device. So it was. I was like
really well actually.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I can see it. So this is coming to all platforms, but this was just what was updated on Nintendo.
And what's price for the collection? Sorry.
I don't know. I'm assuming
$70.
Yeah, like a normal price. I don't know if each one's yet 2040, probably $60. Or would you just buy one of them?
Are these remasters? Or are they just?
Yeah, it just looks like they're upscaled. Yeah, probably just ports from the other one.
I'm probably not going to buy any of them, to be honest with you.
All right, moving on.
A lot of games, though.
Oh yeah, this is if you have not played the Metal Gear Solid series, this is a must buy. And just play Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3. Incredible. I cannot wait. I'm assuming that we're going to be able to play Metal Gear Solid 4 that was on PS3 only and is still trapped on the PS3.
It was a great
I
game,
can
by the
play
way.
that.
The
Oh
ending,
my
so
god,
good.
dude! Especially if you've played the first 3. So Bacon, I do recommend 1, 2, and 3 if you can buy those. If you've not
Wait for a
played.
sale, Bacon. Wait till like Christmas.
No. I disagree, dude. These are so iconic, Bacon. They are worth the full price of admission.
It's been so long I can't even remember which ones I have played.
Okay, well then there you go. Bye. Anyway, next quick story for the week. I just wanted to plug. We don't necessarily have to talk about it because I think I'm the only one who listened to it. If you have any interest in Starfield at all, please go listen to the Kind of Funny Xcast. They had an interview with Godfather Todd Howard himself. And he said they had some interesting questions about the game, and it's just so much fun to hear from Todd about what he thinks about the game and the passion from the team. He talks about, I don't want to give it away, but he doesn't say too much, but you can tell that they've got some special things planned for the game. So please, I just want to shout out, give a listen to that if you're at all interested in Starfield. Jose Bacon, it's worth like 40 minutes of your time to listen to. So I highly recommend that. And then the last quick news story, Halo cuts its cutscenes, and Halo Infinite's narrative cutscenes dropped from seasonal content. This is coming from Liv, is that gone or non, over at Eurogamer. The trade-offs are never easy to make. And on Twitter, Brian Gerard, community director at 343s, had this statement on Twitter: as we've redefined our top priorities and shifted resources internally this year, we had to make the decision to forego seasonal narrative cutscenes to make room for the team to continue on highly requested features, content, and improvements for Halo Infinite. These trade-offs are never easy to make, and we truly appreciate your support as the team works to make Halo Infinite the best experience possible. And before we get kind of like your reactions to that, I will jump into what we have been playing right about now, because I know, Jose, I saw you the other night. You were playing Halo, didn't send anyone else an invite. Jose was just swinging solo out there on the new Halo Infinite multiplayer. Tell me your thoughts on what you saw from the update. But first, I want to hear, are you bummed we're not going to get any more cutscenes to Halo with these seasonal narrative events? Or are you like, whatever? Because I thought they were good, but this clearly means that any kind of single player experience for Halo Infinite is dead, right, boys? Like, this game's...
No, it doesn't mean it's dead.
It's dead, right, Bacon?
That's probably dead.
Oh, go ahead, Jose.
I mean, I am in the minority here. Here's what I would say. So to be fair, I did jump into Halo last night. I purposefully I had turned off. I peered up offline on my Xbox for like the last 4 days because I've been trying to get through Diablo, which I'll talk more about in a little bit. But last night I finally went back to Halo, put it online. And the only reason I didn't invite Dan and Bacon was because I always look at what my friends are doing when I look, and like Dan says home, which I'm like means he's probably like hanging out with Ally or something. Bacon was I was like, I don't like interrupting people when they're trying to do other things with the spamming invites. But if
you don't spam invites like Snelling, or you sends like 30 invites.
If I see you on the same game I'm playing, I will happily join your party and see if you got a spot for me. Like I'm just not that guy that's like spamming invites. Anyway, what I will say is when I got the update and I hit like started, I fully expected a cutscene because I hadn't like read anything about it, and so I was like, God, did I like mess up and miss it? Maybe I need to download it. And like
he missed it, guys. He misses the cutscenes.
And finally, I was like, oh, they must not have had one. And honestly, that was the last I thought about it. And so to your question of like, are we going to miss them? I mean, they were cool. They're beautiful. They were very well done. But I think about like the Lone Wolves trailer, which was a super dope trailer that probably took a lot of man hours to make. After that trailer,
we're not going to know what happens with that cool Asian Spartan dude.
Okay, but I'm saying after that cutscene, I didn't think about that cutscene a single time through that entire season. I didn't. Right. And in season 3, like we got to see a little bit more of him, and I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, this would be cool to have those little snippets. But here's where I go with this. If I could choose the cutscene or I could choose better content, I'm taking that content every time. You can choose a cutscene or an extra map or a cutscene or extra mode or a cutscene or these other features on your Spartan. I would take that second thing every time. So I am certainly bummed that we don't have
absolutely right, Jose.
He's absolutely right.
Right.
Can't do that from
you are right, because I was thinking about, you know what I hate? is when Call of Duty has a new stupid
and you can't
cutscene,
skip
and I
it,
can't
right?
skip it, and I don't even care about it at all. But for some reason, Halo's better. So you're absolutely right, Jose. Bacon, any thoughts on this?
All right, gentlemen, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a honey, as the kids say.
What? That's what they say, Jose?
Whoever goes back and watches these cutscenes, right? It's a one shot. It's cool. It kind of sets the tone. You're like, this is what we're doing. This is our new character. This is the whole, outline for this season. And you are right. Every time those COD cutscenes come up, I get up and go to the bathroom, or I get up and go get some water and come back, and then wait for it to update, forced restart, all that jazz.
Mhm.
So let's focus on the good of this update and the actual gameplay of Halo right now.
Did you guys both play the Halo?
Yeah, I got my
Okay.
weeklies done on
Oh my
the first
gosh.
night. Yeah, it only took like an hour. I think I only have one left, and it was one that was super hard. Infection, I think there needs to be a little more armor on Infection, because you get popped from like a pistol from like 9 miles
but
away
that's
and you're
supposed
dead.
to be like that.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be like that.
But I just got on and played just a whole bunch of deathmatch, and it was got all my weeklies done.
How are the new maps?
The maps are freaking awesome.
Did you play the new ones?
Yeah, you haven't played yet?
No.
Yeah,
I'll tell you why. Jose,
I'll see you online.
Super good though. But cutscenes, so be it. If we're gonna make better maps, make better content, make better game lists, make better everything.
I like them though.
We are in the point now where it is in the live service life of this game. So let's keep it going, adding maps, adding game modes, fiestas and the limited time events, so we can get better stuff for our Spartans. I don't like the new armor core though.
I haven't seen it.
It looks like a hazmat.
Hazmat,
You think that, right? 100%.
Yeah, but at least it's unique, because we had the samurai one, and then we had like the different kind of. I do like how they each have their own kind of feel and theme for sure. They're not, but they're not like out of control a little bit like Call of Duty, where they're just heinous. Some of those are just disgusting. But shout out to Ender. He said, "Give me cutscenes when it's tied to actual story content." I agree. Ender, I am so sad if we never get any first player or kind of legitimate DLC expansions to Halo. That really makes me sad, because I thought Halo Infinite's campaign was fantastic. I think it might be my favorite.
With the way it ended, it has to.
Playing with Bacon, thinking back, was so much fun co-op. I would play it again. I'll play it again. Matt with MT Kennedy, if he ever gets to it. Like, I loved Halo Infinite's campaign, and I think it's severely underrated. So, before we jump on, I want to go here before we hear more of what you guys have been playing. And I got to say this, Jose.
No, hang on. I got more Halo stuff. Can I finish Halo before you go into what you're going to talk about? So my thoughts on the updates. Maps are beautiful. I always love when you get new maps. I don't know where the hell anything's at, and I'm trying to find like guns and stuff. I actually like that experience. I think that's a cool experience. So they're beautiful. I did play all the like small ones. I even played the big team battle map and played the new one. It's cool. Like they're very well done. I got the transponder once on accident. Like I thought it was the shield, like the cloak, and I grabbed it and I was like, oh, that's the transponder. It's cool. It's one of those things where if you can use it well, you could do some super dope stuff. Can
somebody follow you through it, or is it just you?
It's just you. It's a one-time use thing, which is cool. I finished my weekly, so I got the new armor coating. The only tiny gripe I have about this update is they added new shaders to your armor sets, which is cool. We
still can't use them on all of them.
No, they added a couple of generic colors to all of them, but what annoyed me was that now they added a little tiny it's a triangle in the corner that denotes that there's a new item in that armor set.
Yep.
Right. So like, have you ever had that happen? And I certainly have, where you get something new and you're like, where the hell is
this?
I can't find it. It's cool that it's helpful, but what's a bummer with this update is that all of a sudden all of my armor cores have this, and all of the armor cores have it on the rifle. They have it on your vehicle. They have it on your thing, because they added those in all of the classes. So if you want it to truly be gone, you have to go through every armor core and through everything to like show that you've looked at it.
You can hold down the right stick and it'll clear them.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll check that out. But the gameplay loop was great, man. I will tell you, after playing Diablo, after playing a couple other games, I'm comfortable in Halo, bud. Like I mean, I wasn't certainly like number one on my team, but I
didn't want to go back to PUBG right away.
Oh God, dude, after PUBG we went back to like I don't know, man. I'll go back to Halo and meet you there when you're ready. Like I just didn't have that much fun.
I love PUBG too.
But it was beautiful, man. It was fun. I like that we're now to the point where when they do those startup scenes where you see your team, there's just a lot of variety. Like I love that about seeing what people put together with their Spartans and stuff. And with the maps running smooth, the load times are efficient. Like not to lie, when we were playing Halo over like Christmas, I would literally go get like snacks in between matches because it took so long for them to load. And now they load pretty quickly, man. Like I can't complain at all. So shout out to Halo. Excited for what they got coming. I know it's kind of weird to see what the roadmap's going to be. I certainly hope it's we get something soon, a snippet of it after we follow all the Starfield stuff. But for now, they're doing a great job, man. I still got to finish my season 4 pass. I'm only on like 60 or something like that.
I'm still behind. Yeah,
So.
that was the first time I didn't get all the way through. All right, so before I throw anything else you've been playing, I got to jump in right here, Jose, because I have to admit to you, I was wrong about Gotham Knights. I've been having a blast playing Gotham. I am sucked in. I'm sucked into the story. I appreciate how they're showing the story is engaging. Like they do such a good job. Spooky. I just got to the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
Just escaped that. That was scary, by the way. That whole sequence reminded me of Saw. But anyway, I was wrong about this game. I feel bad. I should have paid full price for this. I wish we all would have played co-op because last night I was telling Bacon before I wanted to save it. I had a random join me, a Batgirl, and it was super cool. We finally did a mission where we were both sneaking around, taking people out. I felt shades of, I don't know if you even played any of this co-op. It felt like a little bit of Splinter Cell, Jose, because I would go sneak and take one down silently, and then I'd see Batgirl taking one down silently, and I was like, man, if I would have played this with Jose and Chance at launch, I think we would have had an amazing time. But the problem with co-op is that I totally understand why it's a 30 FPS game. One, I think it looks beautiful. I don't necessarily think the art design is better than Arkham Asylum or City, but as far as the game, it looks
gorgeous,
great.
Right? At 30 FPS.
And all of their different outfits look awesome. And I love how you can pick and transmog them. And there's so much customization. Too much. That's one negative I will say. Like, I don't know, do I really need to upgrade these weapons? Probably. I don't think you do. Like, honestly, like it's kind of feels a little bit just gamey for that part, but it's cool to see your character in cutscenes in their different suits. Like it looks beautiful. But here's another reason. I think the 30 seconds it has to do with the having the co-op. Like that's where I think they have to make the sacrifices. Like I understand where moving around the city and somebody else being in a different part of the city, like Batgirl was so far away from me, like doing her own thing when I was doing my own thing.
Yep.
And I can see that. And I did have the game unfortunately crash on me 3 times with this rando. And shout out to him. I forgot his name. He kept coming back after my game would crash. But like there would be times where I have Robin's fast travel unlocked and it's weird. So you like hold RB, Jose,
and it's like
and
a green
up this teleporter,
screen, right? Yeah.
It's like, and so it like you can just teleport way far. And that's where like it was chugging and having a little bit issues was with the fast travel. But then Nightwings is super cool because he's got his little glider. Like I think hands down his is probably the best. But
so you went with Robin? You did Robin?
I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Nightwing. Actually, he's a knighthood. Nightwing's knighthood, Robin's knighthood. I'm gonna try to see what Red Hood's is like, and then I'll probably go with one. I really like Robin, but his fast travel his main, the teleport thing sucks compared to Nightwing's. I'll be honest. And all the characters, Jose, I like Nightwing's the best because he seems reasonable and he's like
Dick Grayson, bud.
Yeah, he seems like the next Batman. Jason Todd seems too angry all the time, and he says shit a lot, like a lot. Like I'm like I can't play this in front of Grayson if he's cursing all the time. I'm like, come on, Jason, can you just not be so angry all the time? Like I get it, you died and came back to life. I get it. We understand you're angry. And then Robin, I like Robin, but his fast travel teleportation thing is just throwing me off. But I do like his combat. I definitely feel like Robin's the most agile, the most stealth focused. I really like that. Haven't played as Batgirl yet, but that was because I knew you were going to take over that. So I got to say, guys, I was wrong. Gotham Knights is a good game, and I'm having a blast. I've been having way more fun playing that than Diablo. I've had fun playing with Alan. Me and Alan are into Act 4 now. We have our mounts and we're making some good progress. And so But I've been having a blast. Shout out to Gotham Knights, a great game. I back to the 4K 30. I totally understand it now. They had to make cuts because you're doing so much travel, so much traversal, and I really like it. And I like the combat too. I do. It's not as good as this Arkham City, but it's pretty good.
It's
It's
still
pretty
fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Exactly. So sorry, what were you gonna say, Jose?
I had 2 things. One is for people listening, what is the top amount of money you would have paid for it? Now playing it and knowing that it's decent.
Full price.
You'd pay full price. Okay, good. I did,
price.
and I have no regrets about it. I had a great time.
Yeah,
Other
I bought it for
question,
$23 and I feel bad. Like I got a steal and I'm loving it.
have you been doing any of the like searching for the crazy things without a guide? Like, you know, there's like
What do you
certain
mean?
like hints and stuff you have to go find, and like I tried a couple of them, and
I've only
I
found some of
quit.
the bat wings. That's it. I haven't found any monuments. I haven't found any of the graffiti things. I've been doing I just found Clayface. I've been doing those crazy things. I don't know. There's more to it. Like it's
Yeah, I can't remember. It was 9 months ago that I played it. There's something that you find that they're really hard to find. And there was one, I spent like an hour one night, and I was in the right area, and I could not find this freaking thing. I might go back and play it though. Actually,
dude, if you want to jump in with me, Jose, pick them up. Get in here, dude. For the main missions, I'm telling you, man, it would be so much fun. I was like, this is like Splinter Cell sneaking around. Like, it was really cool. I feel really bad. We should have played this. Bacon, you should have bought it when it was on sale so we can play together. So
I know.
Bacon, what have you been playing? That's what I've been playing. I've been loving Gotham Knights. Shout out again. Gotham Knights, fun game.
I have been playing nothing but Diablo.
He sucked in. Deja Vu got him, guys. You heard it here first. He sucked in. He's going to be going for that level 100, and then he's going to reset when the season starts.
So I got sick of grinding in tier 3 and getting the cheese loot. I had Deja Vu and his brother get me through the capstone dungeon. I'm supposed to be level 70, and I went at level 58. I got one shot at the whole way through this thing. These dudes were just laughing. But they handicapped me and got me through that. So whenever you guys are ready, I'm going to bring my OP character down and get you guys through it. But like getting the ancient gear or whatever it is, the super hot gear. And then I get all this gear and I can't use it till I'm 60. So I got all this hot gear in my chest and I got to rank up 2 more spots. Getting a wrap on the Paragon board, and once you guys
wrapped yours already.
Yeah, I'm like, the Paragon board's insane.
Oh
like,
my god,
a lot of
decisions. I'm only at 50. I don't know.
I'm at 51,
and it slows down so much.
I know it does,
like,
dude.
it just takes for freaking ever.
Bobby got me.
I handled a few world bosses, and I'm having a good time. I probably will start tuning. I need to get all the altars of Lilith before season 1 starts, because having all those captured for your next player will definitely help. So I'll probably run around and get all the altars of Lilith and work on it a little more. But for the most part, might start tuning it down a little bit. And then other than that, I've just been digging around on my ROG Ally, playing cloud gaming, doing remote play on the from my Xbox, and that
works great.
I gotta admit, man, I never thought cloud gaming would be a thing, but it actually works incredibly well. Almost feels native. I think I said last show I played Battlefield on it, and short of having the small screen and having all this stuff you need to see, but I was just really looking at it for the technical aspect. Can you play a first-person shooter over the cloud on a handheld?
Yeah,
and you absolutely can play it. And
I played a Halo match after the update, and I was like, yeah, it's playable. But here's you brought up one of my main concerns about the ROG and with the G Cloud screen size. You guys, like that is a problem. Like, I felt like playing PUBG, I was like, this is too. I can barely see anything. Halo felt constricted. So I want to hear your thoughts. In first person shooters specifically, do you feel like screen size is going to be a problem on the device, or any game really?
I mean, based on the fact that you can have it so close to your face, I think it's all relative to the big screen in front of me right now. But it can be an issue. But like, I'm playing Skyrim on it right now, and I feel like I'm pretty close to being done with that game, actually, because I just flew the dragon over to some secret place, and
the main quest is just the beginning, Bacon. So you're not close. Wow. Have you found the Dark Brotherhood? Have they contacted you yet?
There's all kinds of people
Thieves
who want my
Guild.
services. Everyone wants my services, and I've just been mainlining the story. So the small
Bacon, let me just say
screen.
this. When you beat the main story, you have to do the Dark Brotherhood. If
All
there's
right.
any of the side stuff, you have to do Dark Brotherhood. Okay.
So the size of the screen doesn't bother me as much as like the thumbsticks feel a little loose to me. It feels like there could be more tension. I don't know if that's for longevity of the device, if that, they know something we don't know. But once you get used to the looseness on the sticks, other than that, I mean, the back buttons, you don't accidentally hit them. It just works. Once you set your Xbox Live account or your PC Game Pass account to offline mode, you can play anything with no internet connection. And it's just, sorry, my dog is going crazy for some reason.
Somebody shut that dog
Another
up.
tornado. Watch out.
Jose, can you get that? Can you get that clip? It was like, shut that dog up. It's from
What is that from? I've never heard that
I'll
clip.
have to send that to you.
You just always yelled it at us.
So to make a long story short about the ROG Ally, it is an absolute must buy. If you are a gamer, if you are a Game Pass subscriber, I'm collecting my games off Epic Game Store. I have Cyberpunk loaded on that. It is absurd what that thing will allow you to do.
Yeah.
I want to hear Jose's thoughts for someone who's a console gamer who is dabbing his toes in the PC market for the first time, what he thinks of this thing.
Before I throw it over to Jose, I do want to say these guys are making fun of me because I picked up the Logitech G Cloud, which is streaming only.
Tried to get the poor man's version.
It was great. It's just cloud streaming worked
Limited.
Perfect. It was perfect. Console remote play worked great. When I had my Xbox on streaming to my device, I was playing PUBG. That's great. No lag whatsoever. I played Fallout 4 on it, cloud streaming. Didn't work for a while. I was like, oh, this sucks. But then I updated it. I was like, this is much better. But the bottom line with that is I just don't think cloud's quite there yet. As good as it was, I was like, this just isn't there. It looked fuzzy. I never felt like I was getting anywhere near 1080p performance. I wanted it installed locally. But if the G Cloud was $200 or less, specifically like $150, I would absolutely buy it just for remote play and to have a cool tablet that has YouTube, that has Android dedicated normal apps on it for the ease of use for the tablet. And battery life, you guys, phenomenal on that thing. The battery life, I didn't even have to charge it at all, and it would last. I was like at 80, it arrived at like 80%. And then when I sent it back after using it for a few hours, it was still like 70 something percent. And that was all cloud, all remote. So if you want something that is, again, just think you're buying an Android tablet that has decent controllers on it. Thumbsticks felt great. Buttons too small. Didn't like that. Wish it had back buttons. If it's $150, I will pick this back up again. Yes, Bacon likes to make fun of it because he's got the ROG Ally and it's a powerful device. But my argument is at $700, I'd rather buy that Asus, the little ultra portable G14, and just use that for gaming, because I just like holding a controller. That's my problem I've discovered with these handhelds is I just don't like holding the G Cloud, or I'm sure the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally are better. And I appreciate that they both have back buttons, which is a big deal. Like I can't go back to not having back buttons. Like that was a big deal breaker with the G Cloud. But I would just rather have a tablet and use a controller. So I don't know. I'm not sold on the handheld thing. But Jose, yeah, as somebody who's new into PC gaming, are you completely satisfied with your ROG Ally as of right now? Are you still like trying it out? Are you considering a laptop, or is this going to be your main handheld device?
No, I mean, so here's what I'd say. There's a bunch of questions there. So do I love it? Absolutely love it. Like I don't play it a ton because I'm on summer break right now. And what I mean by that is like I work in education, so I'm home, like I'm with my kids. So like when I have downtime, I literally can go downstairs and play on my Xbox, right? What I will say has been super dope though is there's been a couple of nights like where I was like I'm tired, but I want to game a little bit. But if I stay down there, I won't get up and stuff. So I like took it upstairs to my bedroom and I was doing the remote play, and I was shocked. Like I was playing Diablo 4, and like for as much as was going on the screen, for as much was coming in and out, as small as your Diablo character is on the screen, I had no issues. Like it was clear, it was crisp, response time was tight. Like I was thoroughly impressed. Like except that Victoria would literally have not cared. I wanted to be like, babe, oh my God, check this out. She just would have been like, I don't care about any of that.
But
it
you
was
know what you can
amazing.
do that on too, Jose? The Logitech G Cloud.
You're right. You're right.
Go ahead.
But here's what I would
Cool.
say is I have also been playing games on the Epic Store, which I had never played from before, on the Steam Store, which I've never played from before. Like, and they run amazing, dude. And like that is the part where I see the future with this is like I can throw this in my work bag, and like when I'm waiting for like basketball to start and I have an hour, I can jump on and play some legit like based on the system stuff. Now, to your question of like versus a laptop, like I already carry my own laptop. And everyone, I know we joke about it, I'm a big Mac guy. Like I'm not saying I'd be against a PC for gaming, but I don't want to carry two laptops where I will happily carry this thing with me.
Why
I
can't
also
you have,
like
Steam or Windows games on your laptop or your MacBook. That would be kind of cool.
Well, they have Steam games because I
Yeah.
believe it or not, one of the games I've been playing that I went back to for a while is Stardew Valley, which runs really well on the Ally
Well,
because it's a very minimal game. But
Yeah.
what's awesome about it is the battery life, right? So like you were talking about that, I will say when you're playing really intense games, battery life does suck pretty quickly. But the Stardew Valley thing is rad, man, because it's not super intense. So I can play for long periods of time. And it's a comforting game for me. Like I can relax while I play it. Like I'm not stressed about it, which is really nice. I love the soundtrack. But I'm after that video that Bacon sent about like how to fix your ROG Ally, how to update everything, because there was one thing I had actually missed. It works really well. And I will tell you, Dan, because I agree with you about the controller because I have decent sized hands. I love the back buttons, and that's actually what makes it so comfortable for me. Once I got those tuned, was that like I'm not moving my hands a lot on the device because it's a big device, and it's rad, dude. Like I have no complaints. I mean, the only thing that stopped me at this point from like buying Spider-Man Miles Morales because I really want to play that is I want to get the thing that can let me connect to a TV. As soon as I can get that, I want to try that. That's the game I'm going to try it on. Is I want to run it natively through the Ally to a TV
and then
with
you
an
can use your
Xbox controller.
Yeah,
That's what I want to do.
Play
So
Spider-Man with your Elite. That'd be
You
pretty
can also
sweet.
get Last of Us remake.
I know, man.
Can
So
you just not? Does it? What does it need to go to the TV? It doesn't have like an mini
the
HDMI out.
well, you have to watch out because it requires 65-watt PD fast charging. So like I have a USB-C dock that only does 40.
Yeah.
And so you'll never have it in turbo mode, and sometimes you'll see that not charging.
So you need it.
So you need it
so
to,
you need
to
the
there's a
power
special plug,
to-
like a brick that
Okay.
they haven't started selling yet. But when that
no,
comes
it's
out,
it's selling. It's just been sold out. The Asus brick is definitely for sale.
oh, that's what I missed.
Yes,
It was
you
sold
can
out.
find it, but it has an HDMI in it plus
Mhm.
2 USB ports, and you just plug it in your wall and HDMI from your wall into your TV. It's actually kind of ingenious.
It's really smart the way they did that. So I'm waiting for that to get a hold of that. But in the meantime, I have plenty to play. It works really great. The one thing that I haven't done with it is like YouTubes and stuff like that. But that's because I always have my phone with me, or
Right.
again, I'm at home. Like I don't need to watch it on that for
Yeah,
that
no.
reason because it just killed my battery. I will say like the touch is really slick and smooth. Everything runs really well. Like I paired some headphones I had to it that run real well with it too. Like it's a really nice experience. Now to be fair to Dan, I agree. If you were going to drop $700 and you don't have a primary device, I would get a laptop over the Ally. I really would. This is a nice ancillary device I have on top of my RD console that I play on. But dude, I love it. I still haven't got my screen protector because they're back ordered. It'll be here in like a couple weeks. But I got my case now. I got a nice little sling in front of me. It's a satchel like
I saw
Indiana
your
Jones.
satchel. Yeah.
But no, it's really good, man. I'm really excited to keep playing it, and it'll be nice once we get traveling here in a little bit. And that's the other part is I'm excited for travel because I'll feel like I really don't have to create this crazy gaming rig. I just have this nice Ally that runs really smoothly. Bacon, I do have to have you teach me how to do the offline mode though. That's the thing I got to figure out at some point. But
it's super easy.
But other than that, man, it's other stuff I've been playing. I did play Diablo 4. I rolled credits on it. The story, and it was cool, man. I really enjoyed the story. I like that it actually did have a story that you could follow.
What do you think of that last cutscene? Was that not epic?
It was cool. I didn't put together just because I guess
not as cool as the Gotham Knight cutscenes. Am I right, Jose?
Well, I like the Batman universe more than that, so that's not a fair comparison. But I had forgotten about there's I think it's a twist, but about some of the characters in it that I thought was really cool. beautiful cinematics. Like I cannot
Yeah.
say enough about the
They've
cinematics in
always
Diablo. They're
Diablo's always
amazing.
had amazing ones.
But anyway, did that. I did play Master Chief. Like I said, I've been playing Stardew Valley on that. I did start Shadow Warrior 3 on there, which is also a hilarious. Shout out to JBiz for I took so long to get to that, but it's really, really good on there. And now right now, I think I'm trying to figure out what to play other than I want to get through at least season 3 on Halo so I can get season 4.
Yeah, me too.
And I think it might be time for me to go Survivor because I love Jedi Survivor. And with my last couple weeks of
I'm
summer,
intimidated to start that too. I keep forgetting I have that. And I'm like, do I want to start that?
So I think that's what I would do. And because I also want to try that on the Ally. I want to see how that runs there. So on the remote play gaming. So
it'll be fine. It'll be good.
Other than that,
jump into Gotham Knights with me.
Yeah, maybe I will, dude. I loved Gotham Knights, dude. And again, on the story side, like if you've never read Court of Owls, it's a super dope comic, and it's actually a little bit different than the game, just so you know, than the actual comic book story. But it inspired me with in the summer we go to the library a lot, like the girls read a lot of books, and so I started getting a bunch of graphic novels, and so like they're reading like legitimate stories and I'm sitting there with like comic books basically. But I just read one, speaking of Dick Grayson, where it's DC versus vampires, totally like one-off story but super cool, and Dick Grayson's like a big character in it. And then I also read The Three Jokers, which is like a story about 3 Jokers in Gotham with like Red Hood and Robin and Batgirl and Batman. Super great stories, man. So if you like Gotham Knights and you want more of the lore, you should check out the graphic novels. You can probably get them at your local library for free.
Sounds good. Guys, let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. And I got to go quickly here first, Jose. Please add 2 breakfast burritos to the list. I had Burrito Express, and my gosh, it was delicious. And I have to say, my new standard order, potentially, Jose, might be a breakfast burrito with a carne asada quesadilla. Blew me away. And unlike, yes, it was like 8 something for the quesadilla, but unlike when you're spending $5 or $6 at Taco Bell and they give you this cheap little quesadilla, at Burrito Express, they give you these 3 huge hunking pieces of quesadilla with a real steak in there. And it is, you dip it in the sauce, Jose. Oh, so
are you a red sauce or green sauce, Dan? We talked about this.
Both.
What are you? Oh, you're
but if I had to pick one,
you're going Christmas.
I'm going red. But yeah, no, I do.
Red is the right choice.
Red is the right choice. But if I like to do both, I'm not gonna lie. Like I switch it up. So that was the best food this week. And I also got to give a shout out on the way back from swim lessons. Also, shout out to Greyson. He's officially been promoted to beginner 1 in swimming. He got his little blue ribbon. Greyson. So congrats. He's making progress. I was like, Allie, do you want to go to the Cheesecake Factory and get some cheesecakes after this end time storm that you just survived? And she's like, hell yeah, I do. And so I went and got.
We might not make it to tomorrow.
Exactly. We need some delicious cheesecakes. We got 2 strawberry ones, but I got you guys the Cinnabon cinnamon cheesesteak. Wow. If you like cheesesteak or Cinnabon, it's a must buy.
You mean cheesecake, Greyson, right? Not cheesesteak.
Oh, sorry. Cheesecake.
Cinnabon cheesecake.
Cheesecake. Sorry. And it was delicious. And even Greyson devoured his piece that I gave him. And I don't even know if he likes cheesecake. So he loved it. Cinnabon cinnamon cheesecake. That was some of the best food I had this week, along with the amazing breakfast burritos from Burrito Express. Bacon, what about you?
I have had a week of all weeks. We have just gotten brand new windows installed in our house this week.
Congrats,
talking
bud.
the last 2 days, and then we get a freaking tornado on $13,000 worth of windows. But anyways, it's been chaos. The amount of work you have to do to get your house ready to
did they make it through the storm, by the way?
They did all survive.
Oh, great.
They better. These are triple pain.
I got a little leaking on this window, and I'm not sure if it was the wind was blowing it in so much in the tornado that some water got in. But anyways, we have not eaten much, anything worth reporting. But the only thing I had was went to drop the dog off at daycare before the window installation. The wife brought back some McDonald's breakfast, and
McGriddles.
I had McGriddles.
Good choice.
U-Dog. Hey, Jose, do we have a U-Dog? You need to find that.
I tried to find something, but you got to give me like a movie or something that's from. For me, so I'm actually weirdly like a combination of all you guys. So now that I'm on full summer break for the next couple of weeks until July 11th, I have been helping take the girls to swimming in the morning, which are like very early mornings, but Victoria and I are alternating them. And one of my first mornings afterwards, I went to McDonald's with Penelope and got the breakfast burritos, which they're not as good, but just like as a quick pick me up, she wanted the hash brown, so I got the things, which was I thought it was delightful. But then
What?
hang on, Dan. I was like, God, they're just not as good as a real breakfast burrito. So literally the next time that I took them, I went to Taco Strapios, got the breakfast burrito, but so I added one to the count as well.
Right,
Bacon
nice.
burrito. God, so good, dude. Like I'm thinking about one right now. The other thing that I had that was really, really good, we went to Dairy Queen. We do it a couple times during the
Heath
summer.
cookie dough blizzard.
No, I usually get a blizzard. And usually, like I said, I've been getting the Take 5 blizzard because they're really good. But I mixed it up with the cherry Misty Freeze. Oh my God. It reminded me of like childhood, dude. I really like the grape, but they got rid of grape. They got rid of grape flavoring at Dairy Queen, which is a heresy. And they added mango instead, which like I
like
guess
mango.
that's fine, but like I still want. Couldn't you get rid of one of the other dumb flavors? Like, why'd you got to get rid of
I don't
grape?
even know what you're talking about. The tasty. What did you call
It's
it?
like a Mr. Misty, but they add ice cream
What
in
is
it,
a
so it's
Mr.
like,
Misty?
oh
What
my
is that?
God! Someone boot this guy from the party.
You go to Dairy Queen, you get a blizzard,
Yeah,
or
go
you
try-
get the brownie, whatever the brownie thing is called.
my
Get the hot
Brownie
dog, though.
explosion.
Go get one. A
Brownie.
small Misty Freeze. Get the cherry.
gonna
That's
look
what I
this
got.
up.
It's delicious, bud. Even Penelope got it. She got a blizzard and she tasted mine and said, next time I want that instead. That's how good they are from a child. Just saying.
Spoken from the mouth of
Misty Freeze menu. Oh no, this looks disgusting. Is this like a sherbet or something? Oh
No,
my.
no. It's like a Sonic drink, but with ice cream in it.
So it's why wouldn't I just go to Sonic and get one of their delicious?
Okay. Well, then you know what? Don't come to Dairy Queen with me. I'll go by myself. You go on your own.
You go to Dairy Queen, you get real ice cream, okay? And you get blizzards with candy or the brownie. I can't remember what it's called. Ender, what was the best food you had this week? He said fudge dipped cones. Sorry, exactly. At least he's getting good ice cream, not
I like the ice cream
misty
too. I'm not
taste.
hating on the ice
Oh,
cream.
shout out to Ender. He's got the correct answer there, guys. This has been the Nerd Chat episode 112. My name is DaddyDWALLY. You can follow me at DaddyDWALLY across all social media. You'll find me in the Gotham streets as Robin Hood or Nightwing. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat podcast across all social media. And Jose, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Chipotle_bear, or on Instagram at ChipotleBear. And, always happy to chat with fans there. Always happy to chat with other podcasters out there. And for all those that are listening on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind throwing us a thumbs up or subscribing, telling your friends, we appreciate it. Again, we're just trying to grow our small podcast. We love doing it every week and love to see it grow more.
We haven't missed a week. Just want to shout that out. Pretty proud of that. And joining us as always, X Bacon Gaming. Where can people find you?
You can find me at X Bacon Gaming across all your socials. And tomorrow you can find me sitting in that courtroom.
He is going to be listening for 12 hours.
I'm exercising my legal
FTC versus
prowess.
Microsoft.
I've spent
Love
so
it.
much time in a courtroom that hearing this from the other end, it's just
Shout out to Ender. Shout out to B. Thank you so much for listening, guys. We really do appreciate it. And as always, gentlemen, see you online.
See you online.
See you online.
see you online.
Only two things scare me, and one is nuclear war.
What's the other?
Excuse me?
What's the other thing that scares you?
Carnies.
What?
Circus folk. Nomads, you know. Smell like cabbage. Small hands.
The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast, is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. The show was created by Daniel Walenzik, and you can follow him at DaddyDWALLY across all social media. The assistant to the co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_bear. The assistant to the co-host is Chance Siegel, and you can follow him at BubbleBoyN7. The intern to the assistant to the co-hosts is Jason Jarrett, and you can follow him at XBaconGaming. You can also follow the show at The Nerd Chat across all social media. And if you'd like to find out more about the show, visit nerdchatmedia.com.